there I was in the Fridays parking lot, and he was offering me 8 gold coins if I gave him my entire life savings. And it sounded like a bad deal. But then I really thought about it. In 8 years, those 8 gold coins could be worth a lot more.
Yeah, I would take it because I don't have any life savings.
Pro tip, pro tip. But yeah, anyway, hey guys, welcome to Chillcast, episode 16, I think. It's as of now, as of recording, it is 11:46 p.m. Friday, November 12th. We're still both going strong. No Nut November has been pretty tough. I've had to stop him in the middle of class in some cases to
Yeah,
keep him going.
yeah, I almost had a heart attack from it's not anticipation. It's like whatever word is for the restraint.
The restraint. Oh, I saw like blood coursing through your vein, through your head.
Yeah, it was not looking good.
You're
Not
like your
looking good.
skull was just like vibrating. Like you were just in
Yeah, I
such.
looked like I was blushing, but my whole face was red, and convulsing.
It was unnatural. It was unnatural. But welcome back, guys. This is our first live podcast. If you're new here, my name's Alex, or you can call me AJ. Here with my roommate Andrew.
Yeah,
Actually, he moved out recently. He's been living in the sewer, but I still call him my roommate. It just makes things a lot easier, and I don't have to explain that entire story.
I don't like to call it the sewer. I like to call it my home. So
Yeah,
it's kind of offensive to me that you called it that.
yeah. Anyway, but I messaged in the Discord and got some cool topics to talk about. By the way, this is the new set of located in our very own Chillcast HQ.
We spent 8 gold coins on it.
8 gold coins.
Every gold coin
Eight
that we
gold
had.
coins. And I mean, it looks pretty nice, I think. Of course, the rats get in the way of recording sometimes. We've had to scrap some footage because of all the scurrying
Yeah,
and
because of the
whatnot.
rats.
The rats, it's a
They
problem.
they love getting in the way. I know because I live with them.
Yeah, in the sewer, yeah.
I don't call it that.
But so I'd like to start this episode off with a very interesting story that we both experienced. I like to call it the Great Restaurant Debacle. Would you
Yeah.
like to do the honors of telling this wonderful story?
Okay, so we were we were getting back from a hardcore session of D&D, and we were hungry. We had the munchies. Well, specifically, everyone else was hungry. I was actually doing pretty fine.
You were a little too content in the back
Yeah,
there.
yeah, but we got in the car. Everyone was starving except for me, but I just pretended I was hungry because I didn't want to feel left out.
Yeah.
And what was the first restaurant we tried to go to? Or fast food place? It was Chick-fil-A.
We went to Chick-fil-A. Line was around the restaurant. It was packed inside and out.
Yeah,
Bunch of
it was open, but
it was very much open and very much filled to the brim with people wanting some nuggets. So we went, okay, let's nix that. Let's go to the next best option here, Zaxby's.
yeah.
We walk up,
We
we
saw
park.
it was looked open. It had the lights were on.
There were people inside.
I exited the car and there was this guy taking out trash, and I waved at him, and he was like, "Okay." And then we were walking over, and he was like, "Actually, the Zaxby's is closed."
We're
And we were
actually
like,
closed.
"Dude, why didn't you tell me when I waved at you?"
He wanted you to get a little excited first, so he can drop that bomb on
I
you.
thought he was like taking longer to take out the trash so he could like cleanly keep the door open for us or something. But no.
No, he wanted to get your hopes up. I know he just like he has like a cork board at home with a bunch of like red strings attached to different pictures of you,
Yeah.
and like this was
It's
his
just
day.
me. Just me.
Just you.
Not
This was his
anyone
day.
else in the car.
Yeah, it was his day. It was his day to shine and destroy your livelihood. But Yeah, so Zaxby's didn't work. So we went to
We were
Waffle
excited. Yeah,
House.
we were excited. We were
We
gonna
were
drive kind of far, not that far, but farther than the rest of the restaurants to go to Waffle House because Waffle House is open 24/7. It's
Waffle
always
House.
open.
Waffle House is the best restaurant to go to super late at night. Really anytime. It's just such a great place, such a great feel, atmosphere. The food's great. Price is not too bad.
Yeah.
People who work there are always nice. I mean, depending on where you go, it's always
They don't really play good music though. Music kind of sucks. They play, Old Town Road or whatever constantly. And
I could deal with Old Town Road being played on loop if I have a waffle in my stomach.
and what's the other song? Country Girl, Shake It For Me. Play that song a lot. But the food's good.
Yeah,
But
we were so excited, like
yeah,
inhumanely excited. And then we
the
get
lights
there.
were on.
Lights were on. People were in the parking lot. Closed.
It was closed. It was because it was Veterans Day.
It was Veterans Day. That's the moral
The
of the story.
one day it was Veterans Day.
Okay, to be fair, if I was a veteran, I'd want me some Waffle House late at night. But, and then again, it is kind of nice to give people a time off.
Yeah,
but
break
but
for once.
my waffle is more important than your break, your
We should have
time off.
specified 24/7, 364.
Got 'em.
Not open on veterans.
Waffle House is open on like Christmas Eve too.
Yeah.
So like it's like I don't know.
We should have went to like a Chinese restaurant. That they probably would have been open. That's like the stereotype is when like, oh my God, we messed up the Christmas cooking. Let's just go to a Chinese place.
Yeah.
No, instead we went back and we went, oh well, let's just get Taco Bell, whatever,
Taco
Like,
Bell.
we saw it, it looked open. There were people.
It was open. It was open.
It was open, but it was also like not really open. Like
You couldn't dine in, and the drive-through was
it
packed.
was long and it wasn't moving.
People were leaving. They were so desperate. Like it was like
Yeah.
it wasn't moving.
But we had like a moment, like we didn't talk to anyone else who was at the driveway or whatever, but we saw some of the same cars go to our last destination,
They
the
were.
McDonald's.
Yep.
That
That was the last resort. McDonald's was our plan. I don't know, D,
Plan Zeta.
Plan Zeta.
Yeah, and then Burger King is like Plan Zeta Part 2 or whatever.
Burger King is our absolute last resort.
I don't think there even is a Burger King here.
We can make one if we really want to.
Yeah, if the McDonald's was also closed, we would have just went into the kitchen and started cooking because like you guys were actually like going mad.
We were I don't use the term hangry ever. I was hangry. I was hangry. Another cool story to add on to this drawn out story. We got into the McDonald's. We ordered our stuff. We messed around with the little like order
Yeah, whatever the heck
kiosks.
that was, that whole experience. It was more counterintuitive than like just going up to the register. It didn't make any sense.
Yeah.
And also it printed out a blank receipt.
I know. I got all excited. I was like, I'm gonna order this and this, and I'm gonna get this
Put in your
drink,
table
and then
number. Where's the QR code on the
Scan
table
the Q-
thing? Let me just put it in. Here's my receipt. Empty.
just a blank. I just trusted that it was printed on the other side, so I was
You're
like,
like, oh,
I
okay,
was like, oh
whatever.
yeah, got my blank receipt. Walks up. I walk up to the register.
and like, hey, can you give me what I ordered? You hand them their blank receipt, and they're like, sorry.
What? Luckily, the lady at the register was able to like pull it up on her end, so the blank receipt didn't destroy me. But yeah, well, we ended up getting our stuff. We were chowing down, and I finished with my stuff, and I was still really hungry, and so I was like, I'm gonna order a 6-piece nugget. So I go up to the front, and this lady who's really busy with the drive-through because the drive-through is packed. She walks up and she's like, "Oh, do you need something?" I'm like, "Oh, I want to order a 6-piece nuggets." And she's like, "Okay, 1 second." And she like walks back to the window to start tending to that. And this other employee walks up and says, "Oh, do you need something?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'd like to order a 6-piece nuggets." And she's like, "Well, our front register is closed." And I'm like, "Oh, Okay. And she walks back in and starts doing stuff. And I'm like, oh, okay. And so I walk defeatedly to my
Yeah, it
seat.
is what it is. You walk
Yeah.
back.
And then the other lady from before, like, motions me over, like, hey. And I get up there, and she's like, just hands me a bag of nuggets. And I'm like,
Free
do I
nuggies.
pay? And she's like, no, just go ahead. And I'm like, oh, angels were coming down. I was
To be
just so
fair, like
happy.
us as a group, we looked pretty downtrodden when we walked in.
We were
Like,
pretty desperate. Yeah.
yeah, we it was kind of pathetic, like how we were just ended like, oh, we're so hungry, and we were like desperately pressing the machines. Like,
Come on.
yeah, where's my receipt?
Yeah. But that was a good night. Like, the session was great. It was kind of, looking back, it was kind of funny how we completely forgot that it was Veterans Day. Of course, businesses are going to be closed, and we were like, what's going on? People are going insane. What's going on? Why are the businesses closed? But it was a fun night, I think. After all, the next morning I did regret eating McDonald's because
Yeah,
my tum tum was not having fun. But in the moment, it was like the best food I'd ever had in my life because I was that hungry.
I wasn't hungry enough for it to be the best food. It was very mediocre food.
Very mediocre. You heard it here first,
And
folks.
then yeah, one of the other people, Dexter, he doesn't eat much. He ordered a McRib.
For the first time, I witnessed history last night. Um, he tried to make rib for the first time, and
And it sucked.
he
'Cause
said
I
it
had some of
sucked.
it, and it sucked. It just got, it was everywhere. Like I took a bite into it, and like it got all over my perfectly stainless steel white hoodie.
According to Marcus, that's one of our other roommates. According to Marcus, that's part of the experience.
Yeah, you bite into it, and it explodes in your face, and
Like a
in every
gusher.
direction, like in a two-dimensional direction, because the bread's holding it in, but there's no bread on the other end, so it just shoots out like a gun all
It's
over your, whatever else you had, like your fries.
a barbecue Go-Gurt.
Yeah, there was so much. After I finished eating, I looked at the container. It looked like someone died. If it was like color shifted red a bit more, like it would look
Ugh.
like a crime scene.
It's just a cardboard casket.
Yeah,
But no, to be honest, I'm a small fan. You could almost say an enthusiast of the McRib, but I think it's only partially because it's limited.
exactly.
You
Just
know,
like NFTs. That's how they get you.
what are NFTs? I don't. Are they just really high quality? Are they high quality images or something? Is that what they
No,
are?
no, 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 no. You don't understand.
I don't understand. I'm asking you.
Okay, so basically, NFTs are paintings. Not in the sense that they're images or whatever, in the sense that they're highly valued and used for money laundering. Because basically they're just like, like Bitcoin or whatever.
Yeah.
That's called a fungible token. Basically means you can trade one Bitcoin for another Bitcoin and you just wasted all your time. NFTs, non-fungible tokens, you trade one NFT for another, you got a new brick or whatever. Instead of brick, 17, you have brick 3 or something of, the Just Bricks collection.
I think I understand NFTs less now.
The Just Bricks. They're like they're procedurally generated bricks, pixel art, and they've been sold for like thousands of dollars. There's like over 100 of them, I think. Some of them are cool, like because
Yeah.
they're procedurally generated. Some of them are like completely clean, like they got no details. They're just a color. Like the rarest one is like the completely white brick. I don't know how much that one's worth, but
I think what was it? This whole NFT situation reminds me of uh, when Ringo Starr sold like his Microsoft Paint paintings for like thousands of dollars, and it's like his little like stick figure doodles, and it's because he's Ringo Starr, it's worth that much money. That's kind of what it reminds me of.
exactly. The history is part of it,
The context.
Exactly. All right. It's like there's different aspects to what do we even call like art collecting?
Yeah.
History is part of it. Who owned it previously is part
Yeah.
of it. you know, what medium it's in, all that nonsense that no one cares about except for like billionaires. And then they money launder with it. You know, they buy it and they don't have to pay taxes.
Isn't there like a meme about people screenshotting NFTs or something?
Yeah. I screenshot an NFT and then this is the economy after I screenshot NFT and it's like, my house. Yeah.
So if I like print off a bunch of NFTs,
And you just start selling
am
them.
I rich? Can I like make a bunch of money off of those?
No.
I still really don't
Because
understand
then they
what
would
they
be
are.
fungible. If you print out a bunch, oh, my one, printout of this NFT is the same as this other printout. It's boring. NFTs, there's only one, you know.
Hmm. So it's NFTs are just like digital McRibs because they're limited.
If that helps you understand.
It
Sure.
really helps. It really helps, honestly.
There's one NFT that is kind of interesting. I wanted to buy it, but it's kind of expensive. Where it was a NFT of the moment where this guy named Edison proposed to Leslie or Foosley, the streamer. But the reason why he's selling it is because they're actually not getting married anymore. They broke up, and so they decided to sell it for like $1 million.
Million.
Got him. But I don't know if they
You
actually
were
sold it or
considering
not.
you were considering buying that?
Yeah, if I had the cash,
$1 million for an
Yeah.
NFT?
Yeah. And then I would resell it for $2 million. Buy two NFTs, resell those for $4 million. Four NFTs, etc.
Okay, well, we need to start making Chillcast NFTs now if we're gonna catch up with the market here.
Yeah. I mean, if you could figure it out, figure
How-
out how to make one.
They're images, right?
They're not just images. They're like, so it's the image is part of it, but they're attached to, the blockchain. That's how they actually have that's how you can tell you actually have the NFT because you have the specific code.
Interesting. Well, we'll have those up on the merch store pretty soon. I'll get you to work on that in your free time.
Yeah. But the thing is that we'll have owned them first, but I get all the profits. Boom. It's that easy. It's that easy.
I mean, and when you say it like that, it just makes sense.
Yeah. You just make them and you sell them and you're rich. Is that it? That's it?
So recently, I saw a pretty epic movie in theaters called Last Night in Soho. And I've told you about it at least 30,000 times by now. But since we're recording a podcast, I do want to talk about it again.
30,001 times.
Yes, one more time. It was a great film. Has an amazing soundtrack. Most of the songs are from the 60s, which is the setting of the film. The whole premise is that an up-and-coming fashion designer or like a college student studying fashion goes to London, and she's like, enjoying the scenery, enjoying the history. She's like working passionately to become this great fashion designer, and she's starting to have these visions of this up-and-coming singer who went to London to become a singer. And they have the visions in her life are very similar, and it's a whole like mystery, psychological thriller type film, and it's really well made. There's some twists, there's some goofs and gaffs. It's pretty great film overall. I honestly do want to buy the CD of the soundtrack because it's that good.
Mm-hmm.
And in most cases, people nowadays kind of expect movie twists. Like there are very few movies that are able to really throw you off.
Yeah.
But this movie did throw me off in a good way. Like there were some twists that I was not expecting. And I won't spoil it because I want you guys to see it. It's a good movie, and I want it to survive the theater and not get swallowed up by all the Eternals hype. The new Marvel movie coming out, or it's already been released, I think.
I have no clue. I know Harry Styles is in it.
Yes, my friend Lauren, who is a huge Harry Styles fan, made me aware of that. Apparently he's Thanos' brother, which is kind of goofy to me, but whatever.
Thanos?
Thanos? Thanos was part of One Direction at one point, I think. I think that was in the canon, right?
Yes. And he was in Fortnite.
He was in Fortnite, and I've seen him on YouTube, and he does the cool Fortnite dance, and I think that's canon too. I mean, we're talking about the same comic book publishers that made it canon that he had the Thanos copter.
Yeah,
So
I like that.
it's
I like that Thanos copter.
good creative decision, I think, on Marvel's part. But yeah, speaking of Thanos copters, we're going to be funding a Chillcast copter in which we can sell our Chillcast NFTs from the sky.
So we can drop ship them. Just, here you go. Here's an NFT, and it's like a giant hard drive.
It just crashes.
Right into their window.
Shatters.
And, right into their second child's bedroom, onto their bed, which their child is sleeping night, having dreams about Harry Styles or whatever, lands directly on their forehead. And then that NFT will raise in value because of the history of that.
It'd be a tragedy, but it'd be good business.
Exactly.
And it's not personal.
Fast enough.
It's not personal. It's just business.
Yeah. I mean, that's all of Marvel and Disney, isn't it?
Yeah. Like we can screw over some animators to make some big bucks.
Yeah. Just a couple dollars,
Just couple
Don't need to treat
smithereens.
people well. It's just about the image.
Yeah. Like when Joe Rogan.
Yeah, when Joe Rogan got kicked out of Avengers.
No, when Seth Rogen, they're the same person because they have the same last name apparently. But no, so when Seth Rogen got a bunch of college interns to animate Sausage Party, and he was like, "I'm gonna pay you an experience,"
Yeah. That's how I pay people.
Yeah, there was that one time that you commissioned me to draw a picture of you sculpting
an exact replica of me sculpting like the most extravagant looking muscular man with huge balls.
That is also you.
Yeah, and I also had to create the sculpture, but I don't know how to sculpt, so you had to sculpt it so that you could take a picture, use as a reference image,
yeah.
then paint it.
Yeah, and you ended up paying me
in 5,000 experience, which I think is pretty good.
But like it was only transferable to like some random Steam game that I couldn't play because I didn't have enough space on my computer.
Yeah, I gave him Undertale.
I got XP in Undertale.
Yeah, execution points.
Yeah.
I'm just like Matthew Patrick, Game Theory, who gave the Pope Undertale.
I'm so glad he did that. I think society has become better because he has done that.
Yeah, notice, there's
no
things
pollution.
Have been getting better. Notice that.
No pollution, no disease, no famine.
Since he gave the copy of Undertale in 2015, things have only been getting better.
Exactly. There's no addiction, no disease,
no pandemics,
no crime.
The economy's looking good.
We're living basically in a perfect society because of Matt Pat's decision, I think.
Yeah. Now all he has to do is give the Pope Deltarune.
Yeah, that's the missing part.
Yeah. And then literally the world will like transform into heaven.
Yeah. That's someone's religion out there. Like no, I'm not dissing your religion, but like that's someone's like it's a prophecy to them. Like it's almost like it's equivalent to the second coming of Christ, but supplement that with Matt Pat giving the Pope Deltarune. Like that, it has this same amount of like intensity and importance within this person's religion. Like it's a big deal.
That person is me. All right, when Matt Pat delivers chapters 3, 4, and 5 to the Pope, it'll be so good. It'll be so good. The Reckoning. That's what I'm calling it.
Yeah. Like who needs the rapture when you got like Matt Pat's Reckoning with the Pope?
Exactly. I was trying to remember. So there's actually in Deltarune, there's supposed to be a big event, like the apocalypse or whatever, but it has a name. I can't remember what it's. That's what I was trying to remember.
Matt Pat's Reckoning.
Yes. Yeah. That's what it was called.
I'm sure. You could contact Toby Fox, right?
Yeah.
Say, yo, Matt Pat, that he should be in the game.
Well, whatever.
You just haven't
Can't be
thought.
bothered. Can't be bothered to remember. Truly. Memory.
Memory. It's a
It's
meaning.
late. All right. It's late at night. I can't remember anything.
This is my. I promise. This is my last cup of vodka, and I'll quit. I'll quit. And this is
Yeah,
my last
whatever,
one.
dude. You said the last 3 times.
I know, but now that I know that Matt Pat is going to
See,
give
you're
the,
in denial. You're like, oh, I'm gonna quit. I'm gonna quit. See, what I do is I just say, I'm not gonna quit ever. I won't disappoint anyone. That's how you do it.
you should go to Addicts Anonymous, right? AA meetings.
Yeah,
You should tell them that. I think that'll really steer their life
yeah. It's all about your
to a better
mindset.
path. Yeah.
All right, you don't disappoint anyone if you set the bar low enough.
That's like Roderick's philosophy in Diary of a Wimpy Kid. Roderick rules. He's like,
Exactly.
Greg, just disappoint your mom and dad so much that they have very little
When he puts the
expectations.
sock away, it's like, oh my God, we
Like
should
when
go out to eat because of how epic this is.
he gets like a C on like an essay, and it's like, oh, at least you got a grade.
We're gonna buy you a new guitar. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that is a good, I think in some cases, that's a good way to live life. Like, in all seriousness, like, don't have huge expectations all the time and you'll enjoy life better. But, like, obviously, that doesn't mean you should, like, lower your standards about how people treat you or how you like, go through life.
And what you should do is you should go out of your way to be miserable. All right? It's that simple. And then you'll because humans don't do that. And you're not going to be very good at it. You'll end up accidentally being happy and content.
Oops.
Because, it's the first time I've ever tried being miserable. I suck at it, turns out.
Turns
Now
out.
I'm happy. I've reached everlasting happiness. All right, that's how you do it.
You should publish this
Yeah,
whole,
in a
like,
self-help book.
Andrew's
and include
self-help
as many
book,
swear words as I can.
the Andrew Manifesto, but it's not political. It's just, a self-help book about
Andrew's
lowering your
political
standards.
manifesto, but it's not political.
It's not political, but I thought I should include political in the title
Just
so
I
manifesto
I
makes
can
sense.
tell you that it's not political after, and then it wouldn't seem like out of nowhere. Like, oh, what do you mean it's not political?
Andrew's Manifesto got 5 stars, and here's why that's a good thing. BuzzFeed.com, yeah. Man, I just love BuzzFeed. Like, there's just no way to put to words how much I love BuzzFeed.
I just love how many YouTube channels BuzzFeed has of every single color of the rainbow, and they're all the same channel.
they're all the same channel.
They're very loosely like, oh, this one's slightly about cooking. And like, okay.
Slightly
The
about
other one is like, what about like not cooking? Wow. It's like cooking and this one's the comedy one and this one's like, the millennial one or whatever. It's like, okay, dude, no one cares.
It's really just one channel.
They're all in one channel.
And you must remember that all the episodes have to at least include The Rock or John Cena in the thumbnail.
Yes.
Or some notable actor or wrestler.
Yeah, that's kind of memeable. So it's like
Kind of
it's
memeable.
awesome.
Like the meme doesn't die.
What I like is the reoccurring characters and plot lines. That's what it's all about.
The deep lore of BuzzFeed.
Yes, because there's like the BuzzFeed topics, but in the background there's like, the people who do the videos and they're like, oh, there's drama going on, like over the long term. That's the best part.
What if like BuzzFeed is like a social experiment? Like what if the creators of BuzzFeed know that their content is so behind and so cringy and so it's so obvious they're pandering to a certain audience? Like, what if they're aware and they're just continuing
I'm 100% sure they're aware of it. Like, there's no way they're not aware of it with everyone telling them. Everyone has the same opinion about BuzzFeed. Oh my God, BuzzFeed sucks.
Yeah, everyone really does have the same
Everyone
opinion.
knows, but they still create it. All right, because they know what they're doing. All right, those young teens, they got them on the hook. Young teens and like adults going through a midlife crisis. They've got those audiences hooked in, and like they've had that market like monopolized for so long. Of course they're not gonna quit. What else are they gonna do?
It's like that age old idea that like any press is good press or any publicity is good publicity. So like they're getting so much attention because their content is crap.
Exactly.
So they're going to be successful, but people hate it that they're successful, so they keep watching them out of hate. Like they hate watch, if you will. So like they're still
Yes.
going to succeed, but it's a a loop. It's like you don't want this content to exist, so you watch it more and hate on it, so the content continues to exist.
Yeah.
It's
I mean,
outrage.
it's a good strategy, proven to work.
We should just like re-upload BuzzFeed videos and then do a little like quick like oh my gosh, this guy is so iconic. Oh my gosh, he's such a bean. Like those like little like text edits.
With 1,000 emojis. Yeah.
Call it Chillcast 2 BuzzFeed fan account, and then have a bunch of like in the thumbnail have a bunch of like heart emojis, and it's like
Yeah. Oh my God, I love,
Jeff from-
Patrick or whatever.
Patrick classic
from
Patrick.
BuzzFeed Purple. He's my favorite. Patrick being wholesome for 8 minutes 28 seconds.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I have an undying hatred for those videos, and I don't know why. I don't
love
hate
those
them.
videos.
I don't know why I don't like them. Like, there are a lot of like communities or like franchises that people make videos of, like those kind of videos of, that I enjoy, but like just I can't take them seriously sometimes. Like some of the edits are a little doofy, and I think the best example is like
Thanos looking hot for 5 minutes 27 seconds.
Lin-Manuel Miranda breaking character and being iconic for 3 minutes. Or no, it's more like Lin-Manuel Miranda being iconic for 8 minutes and 30 seconds. The video is like 7 minutes long.
Yeah, or it's 8 minutes 30 seconds, but it's actually 8 minutes 29 seconds, and everyone in the comments talks about it. It's like, dude, no one cares.
YouTube comments they give me life sometimes. They're like,
Yes, I actually like YouTube comments, but like for different reasons depending on the video. They're better than Twitter comments. All right.
agreed. I'm not even on Twitter. I just
They're stupid.
from what I can
Stupid.
tell, yeah, their YouTube
It's
comments
just,
are superior.
some random GIF of like an unfunny meme.
It's always Parks and Rec or The Office.
Yeah, or it's like, some like something that you have to like have known every single meme in the entire universe up until that point so you can understand this elaborate joke. All right, YouTube comments, what's nice about them is that they last forever. There's a word for it. It's not it's like the opposite of transient. They last forever. Like you comment 10 years ago, you could reply and just then to that comment that's 10 years old. That's what's so nice. You could have like years long conversations on YouTube comments. You
Yeah.
can't do that literally on every single other platform. That just doesn't happen,
There are some gold. You can find some gold in the YouTube cesspool of comments. Like you can find some really good like quality comments, like whether they're quality because they're hilarious or they're great observations or they're like really passionate and like vulnerable messages or like inspiring messages, or whether or not they're like really,
or their utility.
they're really
Here's all the
cringy.
jump scares and Markiplier's
Yes.
FNAF Let's Play.
Oh my gosh, people be like, "Oh, you're a hero! You're a hero!"
You're a hero. I know when to turn on my volume.
Funny story. Back when I would use when I was first introduced to YouTube and I first started watching like Jacksepticeye and Markiplier, we didn't really have like, it's weird. Like I just didn't think to plug in headphones, so I would play on the YouTube videos on the family computer out loud, and it was so stressful because every time they would like one of the YouTubers I would be watching would curse, I'd have to like turn the volume down, back up, turn it down, and I would have to do that my entire like YouTube viewing session. I'd be like whenever my mom would walk in the room to get like a paper or something out of a cabinet.
Switch to something wholesome. Switch to some music or whatever.
I'm watching cat videos.
Yeah,
Jacksepticeye's FNAF animation.
yeah, exactly.
But back to YouTube comments, like every single, like there are so many, like, I don't know, wholesome, spectacular comments out there that whether or not that means that they're like really good or they're just like so spectacular because they're cringy
Yeah.
or they're ironic or it's like one of those like I'm
Those are
14,
confusing.
one of those like I'm 14 and this is deep kind of comments, you know? Like
Yeah,
there's gold to be found in all, like almost every YouTube video, honestly.
I find in general, the highest quality YouTube comments come from video game soundtracks. That you just get stories of people's experiences playing the game.
Yeah.
You know, little snippets and things about like their brother or whatever. You don't know anything about them, but that little comment, and it recontextualizes the song just a little bit. And then you can remember that every time, you know. It's nice. It's nice. And I remember some people like respect and value those comments a lot because I know there's a song, it's not from a video game, called, I think it's called Ararian Dance, something like that, by
Yeah.
Nujabes. It's like homework edit or whatever, but the song had this comment about this guy's brother. I don't really remember the comment, but everyone else in the comments did because it got deleted when the video got like taken down for a second. And so they kept reposting that comment. Now that comment lives forever.
That's amazing, honestly. There are so many comments like that, like on, like, specifically, are you familiar with Carol and Tuesday?
Yeah.
It was actually directed by the same guy who did Bebop, which is really cool, and it has an equally good soundtrack. One of the songs on the soundtrack, I think it was, The Loneliest Girl, was one of the first tracks. In the comment section, it's like filled with like really like emotional like sincere emotional comments about like my best friend and I used to listen to this song together and now she's gone and I think of her, and just like really vulnerable, really like, you know, you feel so much empathy reading through these comments, and like you were saying, it just kind of sticks with you and it like goes on forever. And that's not the case for just that song. There's like another song that I remember a lot of those comments being on, like there's this band called Daughter, I think. Yeah, Daughter. Their song Youth is really popular. It was in one of the Life is Strange games. And comments like those would pop up all the time. And it's like, they're all so unique and so, you know, open and sincere, and it's wholesome. Like it's great to see, and it can make your day or make you like feel not so alone, which is really cool. I think it's really cool, which is why YouTube comments are the best.
They're the best comments, bar none. All right, maybe like Reddit comments or like some of them are okay, but like that's it. It's the only thing that comes close.
If you disagree,
leave a YouTube comment.
You leave a YouTube comment. We'll also put a Google Doc in the description. Type your different opinion in the Google Doc, and nothing will happen. But you will have expressed it.
Exactly.
That's the important thing.
Express your opinions, because then you don't want to keep them bottled up, because then you'll turn into, you know, an angry husband one day. You don't want that. I don't think. At least I hope you don't want that.
Speaking of angry husbands, is Dexter's whole marriage situation still a marriage situation, or?
I have zero clues.
Has he told you anything? Like, took you aside and said anything about it?
No. Got him.
Do you think he's like? Could you tell me if he like is leaning towards divorce? Because I know an attorney that I think would be pretty good for him.
No, I already know an attorney. Too bad. So sad. The attorney's me.
No, you can't take this opportunity from me.
I create divorces. That's how good I am.
You were like you created this whole like
I so doubt
scenario or this like whole farce that like Dexter's wife is like cheating on him,
Exactly. It's
but then you spin the same story to her.
exactly. Every marriage is a game of Among Us, the lovers mod.
You did not just
and I'm the
compare.
imposter.
You did not just compare Among Us to marriage.
I did. I
My
did.
goodness.
Because there's a lot of parallels. I think about a lot of lies, deceiving,
Most marriages take place in space.
imposters,
Yeah.
emergency meetings.
Guys, check out my Among Us wedding. Hi guys, I'm Mr. Beast, and today we'll be doing an Among Us wedding in space with Elon Musk.
Exactly. Elon Musk and his fourth wife.
Yeah. Well, what's that called? Like when you have like multiple wives?
Polygamy?
Polygamy? Yeah. That's kind of spooky. I mean, like there's like a bunch of shows on like I don't know, like TLC or whatever that channel is called.
Yeah, it's
About,
called
like-
the Learning Channel, but you end up subtracting your knowledge when you watch it.
It's all reality shows, and those shows like leak out your brain cells like slowly. You just lose brain matter after a while. But yeah, like there's a show about, I think it's called Escaping Polygamy, and it's kind of hyped up like it's made to seem more intense than it really is, but it is kind of spooky.
Yeah, just like every other American show, American reality show.
Reality shows
Like
are,
you look at Kitchen Nightmares, like the British version is like so calm and like, what sound was that?
Uh-oh. Please tell me it's still recording.
We just had a 5-hour long podcast and it got cut off to 42 minutes.
At one point, we did get naked, and it changed how I feel about you, but not in the way that you expect.
It didn't change the way I felt about it because my eyes were closed the whole time.
Anyway, thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the live podcast. I hope it was whimsical for you. We will be selling NFTs, or what are they called?
NFTs.
NFTs. Can you tell that
We're going to sell an NFT of every second of this podcast.
every frame? We'll get our intern Jeff to sample those, get those ready. But thank you for tuning in. We hope to do more of these. It just depends on our landlord, because he's been making me go down to the sewer to clean up the sewer for him.
I don't call it that.
Okay,
home.
Your home, and because he's mad that he lost a tenant, and so it's kind of like a revenge thing. He's like making me clean his home, so there's a chance that he might move back in. It's a whole
you were
thing.
just doing because you're a good friend, but now I know the truth.
Anyway, thank you for tuning in. Please check out our Patreon in the description. Check out our Discord.
Yeah, check out the Patreon if you want to buy an NFT. That's how you buy it.
That's how you access it.
You give a monthly payment of $5.
They're exclusively offered on Patreon. But anyway, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And don't rob a jewelry store ever. Just don't do it.
You should do it once, I think.
Don't say
I've
that.
done it once.
No.
It's exhilarating.
Don't. We have impressionable fans.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying it.
You can't say that.
Why not? Why not?
Just cut
It'll
it.
fortify the defenses of the jewelry store.
Just cut it.
All right? Just like the game Hades.